Hello there, Cancer. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Aries soon. I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing a special reading in celebration of the spring equinox that occurred on March 20th and the new moon in Aries, which occurs today, March 21st. So we're going to take a look at how all of this new energy, okay, and even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, this reading is for you. How all of this new energy, well, it is going to helping you, because that Aries energy is all about inspiration, going forth, doing new things, bringing, dreaming big and going after those things that you are wanting to bring into your life. So we're going to first take a look at the overall energies, and then we're going to take a look at the past 6 months, kind of the lesson, the insight that you gained over the last 6 months that will help you with this 6-month transit. And this 6 months is in your 10th house of career and public image. So we're going to take a look at how you may become more inspired about your career, about your public image, and we're going to take a look at the new opportunities coming onto your path, and then how you can also embrace and keep the fuel going of this new moon in Aries. And then we'll take a look at where you will be in 3 months, and then at 6 months when we have the full moon in Aries. So it takes 6 months for this energy to move out. What you set an intention for today will manifest in 6 months. So let's see what we have here for you. Navigating by the stars and frog spirit. Clear out the clutter. Now, I'm not sure. I think you may have had the frog spirit last week. This navigating by the stars is really coming out a lot lately. It is about following your bliss, following your heart. Pluto is moving out of Capricorn. It entered Capricorn in 2008, and this week on Thursday, March 23rd, it will be moving into Aquarius. And I'll actually have a reading up for you on that day too about the Pluto energy. It is about following your heart, understanding it's not all about work. Okay, that was the Capricorn energy, working really hard, trying to save up money, the tangible things in life. Aquarius is about dreaming big, following your heart, understanding you may not have the complete strategy, the complete plan about where you're going or how you're getting there, but using your intuition to kind of guide you on that journey. So let's take a look at the insight that you may have gained over the last 6 months. Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, you have the Capricorn energy with the devil and then strategy. Understanding that, you had a strategy that maybe even came into play, I will say, in 2008, because the Pluto energy has just almost been overriding all of the readings lately. But that that Capricorn energy, right? You may have had somewhat of this energy of, I go to school, I learn this trade, profession, I go get a job, a corporate job, I get married, I have children, there was this plan, but was the plan based on what you wanted, or was it based on your upbringing, or what society expected, or, what your high school guidance counselor told you, whatever it is? It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. I at the end of this Pluto transit, it's almost as if this is really coming up. You could be struggling right now as far as what is my career? Where is it I want to go? What relationships do I want? Because it's almost as if you are finally being pulled away from the life plan that you may have had in 2008 and looking at how that is not making you happy. What you thought was going to make you happy in 2008 and you put so much time and energy into, right? It could be that you're finally seeing, wait a minute, that plan didn't work. But on top of that, that wasn't even really my plan. That was the plan I adopted, okay, if you will, from society or from my parents or from whatever, right? It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. I need a new plan. But then I think you're almost kind of wondering, wait a minute, why do I need a plan? Maybe I'll just follow my intuition. I'll follow my bliss. I'll see what makes me happy, even if it's just for a little bit. I mean, to have no plan for the rest of your life is probably a little overwhelming, right? It's about dreaming big, and yet at the same time recognizing what experiences do I want. This plan had nothing about experiences. This plan was like a checklist. Get a degree, go to, get a corporate job, get married, have children, whatever that plan was. It was a checklist of milestones that were kind of like given to you. And now what you're understanding is, no, wait a minute. What about sleeping under the stars sleeping in the desert under the stars? What about experiencing, maybe you want to go to the North Pole or something like that. It's kind of like, what experiences, what is on your bucket list? It's time to go after your bucket list. Really interesting, because Gemini had a very similar type of energy about, what is this all for? What have I worked all of this time for? It's understanding, okay, wait a minute. I've been following this plan that has really gotten me nowhere, It hasn't brought me the bliss that I'm looking for. Yeah, you're seeing clearly. I mean, I have the King and the Queen of Swords here, King and Queen of Swords. You could have even been in a marriage, right? But it's all analytical. There's no love there. It's understanding, oh, wait a minute. I was in this marriage, okay? Or in these relationships, friendships, business partnerships, right? I had these connections in my life, but it was all analytical. It was all part of the strategy. There really wasn't any true love or connection, emotional connection. It was all analytical. It was all up in the head. And now you're taking action. You're going towards things that are a little bit more balanced, It is true. We do live in a 3D world. You do have to pay your bills, right? But it's also kind of understanding, okay, if I work hard, I also want to work. I also want to play hard. It's also understanding, okay, I may have to spend some hours of the day doing mundane tasks like answering emails or whatever, right? But for the most part of the day, I also want to enjoy what it is that I'm doing. I don't want everything to be just analytical. I want to also have connections. I want to shine my light. I want to feel the love in this connection. Gemini energy coming in, and Aquarius. This energy of really kind of following your bliss. What is it that you want to experience? Okay, not what do you want tangibly. It's kind of like, what do you want to experience? That is really coming out really strong in the readings lately. Okay, so in the last 6 months, I feel like you have come to the realization, okay, I've been attached to a strategy that really doesn't belong to me. It's not based on my emotional wants, okay? Well, it's not based on my bliss. It's based on something that somebody else handed to me and that I adopted. And I feel like you probably did adopt it with great energy. Yes, this is my life plan. And now all of a sudden it's kind of like, wait a minute. That plan isn't really getting me where I want to go. Okay, so what do we have here? What steps can you take to align yourself with your true desires? It's understanding that the Hierophant is really tradition. It's understanding, okay, I've looked at the traditions, right? But this victory, okay, energy is kind of like wanting to overcome, or perhaps even, it's not about going against tradition. I feel like it's almost an energy of recognizing, okay, where the tradition stops and where your bliss begins. Really beautiful energy of, it's not a rebellious energy, right? It's almost like this energy of saying, okay, there is something that I liked about the tradition. The timeline that I kind of adopted at one time, but at the same time, I want to see the world in a different way. understanding that you have perhaps tried to overcome this energy. Yeah, you're understanding that when you're grounded in just your work, right? That you're missing out on the intuition of your life. I think you were just, Queen of Swords is coming up again. Wow. Two of Cups, the Devil energy again, the Capricorn energy. And then we have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're almost like, I think you're having a hard time detaching yourself from, it's like your heart is going in a new direction, wants to kind of like navigate by the stars, perhaps even like pack the camper up and just travel, like go and living in the desert. You know, for some of you, it's just kind of like I've almost like an exploration of who you are and what it is that you are wanting for yourself. And I'm coming back. This is about having momentum in your career and your public persona. Are you attached? I'm almost kind of wondering, are you attached to having, you know, this look of having a Two of Cups energy, right? Of having a special someone in your life, or having a partnership in business or something like that. Are you kind of attached to that and wondering where does that lead me? How does that change this strategy that you have here, right? I feel like you're almost torn. Cancer, I'm sending you love and hugs. There's almost this energy of being really torn between the life that you have kind of set up for yourself, right? The timeline. There's almost this energy of, I'm not sure I want that anymore. And yet at the same time, kind of feeling almost tied to it. Like, how can I change gears now in the middle of my life? You know, that would be kind of daunting. So you've been in the same career for a long time. It's paying well, right? Maybe you're financially, you know, you have people in your life that depend on you. And now all of a sudden it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. I want that to stay the same. And yet my heart is wanting to go and do something else, experience something else. How do I do that? I feel like you're almost wanting. For some of you, you could be even starting to create parallel lives for yourself. You know, perhaps, you know, you have a very 9-to-5 job during the day, right? Where it's perhaps, you know, a King of Swords, Queen of Swords type of energy, you know, accountant, lawyer, you know, a business person, you know, somebody that's just really in the analytics. It doesn't have to be, right? But then you have kind of like this prim and proper, I want to say it's almost like a prim and proper persona during the day. And then at night, okay, it's kind of like maybe you have like I don't even know, like a hard rock band or something like that, right? Like during the day, you know, you're towing the line. I think you're trying to play the system. Is that it? It's kind of like, okay, during the day, I've got the system under control. During the day, I'm playing this. But at night, right? And it could even be fantasy, right? You could be just kind of like fantasizing about being in a rock band, you know, or something like that. It's kind of like almost like these two dual worlds. But here's the thing, okay? This new moon is in your public persona. It's about how am I going to come off, all right, as perhaps somebody that's married, owns a home, has children, whatever, you know, you're the persona that you have playing out. How do I keep that and still follow my bliss? How do I meld those two worlds? And I feel like for some of you, you may, you know, it's kind of interesting when I was teaching, okay, teaching is kind of prim and proper, and you aren't really are. You're kind of like a role model for children. And I took that part seriously. And, there are things like tarot that maybe sometimes are not truly accepted, okay, in all realms of the world, right? In all sectors. And so this was something that I didn't have a YouTube channel. I kind of like, this was something that I did at night. It could be that maybe during the day you have this 9-to-5 job, but your spiritual side of you is coming out at night, but you're keeping that kind of at bay. It's kind of like, well, I don't want anyone to know because I don't want it to affect my job. I feel like you're kind of like it's a little bit about becoming more authentic with who you truly are in your daily persona of how you show up in the world. So let's see where this is going, because what opportunities are on the horizon. Yeah, you have the 10 of Cups, right? Happy family. And then you have the 4 of Cups. It's kind of like, I feel like what you're understanding is perhaps, and this is new opportunities, understanding, okay, that you're not truly happy with your life at this time because you're not in alignment with what your heart truly wants, right? You have clear out the clutter. It's understanding, okay, wait a minute, where am I going with this, right? You could have this image of having the 10 of Cups type of energy in your life. Libra had that, kind of like an energy of thinking that the 10 of Cups looks a certain way, so you're staying with that. And that is part of perhaps your daily persona. But what you're understanding is, okay, wait a minute, that's not giving me the happiness that I am seeking. Yeah, I feel like you are truly moving away. It's kind of like you have the King of Wands, understanding I have to go in a different direction. I can't stay with this persona. I think you're putting, for some of you, and if you're not resonating with this, you're not, right? But it's kind of like, if you're resonating with that, you have some type of personal persona during the day that's not truly in alignment with who you are and what you are wanting in your life. You're feeling this 4 of Cups. You're feeling disconnected, right? You could be even feeling disconnected from your family, right? Your loved ones, because it's kind of like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm not in alignment anymore with the plan that I had at one time. I'm ready to go in a new direction. I'm ready to make a decision to kind of go after what it is that I truly want. The King of Wands goes after what he wants. He takes action on following his bliss. Look at that. The staff is very much kind of like the wand, right? I'm going away from what was traditional. And it could be, this 10 of Cups here, the happy family card could be your childhood family, right? Thinking, oh my goodness, that's just not bringing me the joy that I'm seeking. I've got to go in a new direction. But really making those choices, understanding, I think there's going to be opportunities where you're kind of like being pushed a little bit more out of your comfort zone of being able to keep that facade of whatever it is that you are trying to keep up based on who you interact with during the day, perhaps at work, and understanding, okay, yeah, I have to go in a new direction. Yeah, because you have community and you have the 7 of Cups. So this is, how do you keep the passion fueled for following your bliss? It's about understanding, okay, there are other options. I can look within my community and see. I feel like for some of you, you're looking at other people that maybe have been able, okay, to combine their day and night life, that energy. Yeah, you're healing this. You're definitely healing this and going after your heart. You're seeing clearly that unless you are happy with how you are showing up. You are in your true authentic self, right? That you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be disconnected. So it's understanding, okay, wait a minute. I have to kind of heal this energy. I have to step into my true authentic self. It's a little bit about stepping out of that comfort zone of pleasing other people, of giving them what you think that they want, and recognizing, wait a minute, they may actually, embrace what you are, or what is your bliss. I feel though the first thing is being really clear with yourself, knowing what it is that you want, and knowing that you're willing to wish for it and go after it. Right? And that through that, you will share your love and light with the world, and it will bring you the love that you are seeking, whether that is romantic love, a new soul tribe, the connections in your work that you're looking for. It's understanding that if you're feeling blocked right now, okay, I feel like there's perhaps some disconnect between how you are showing up in the world in your daily work, okay, and what it is that you truly want to do. For some of you, you could be going to a job and then at night you have a side hustle or something like that. It's understanding, okay, I have to embrace this new version of me and share it. Okay, share it with the world, share it with those that I love, share it with the people in my life that I want to have this deeper connection with. So that's the other part, right? Is that when we're not really telling all about our true self with the people that we interact with on a daily basis, the problem is that relationship really has falseness to it. It's not authentic. It's not like you have to share every little nitty gritty with the people that you work with. But I feel like you're holding yourself back from having emotional connections with the people that you work with, or your clients, or whoever that is in your career and public persona, because you're not sharing everything about yourself, some important part of yourself. Yeah. Kind of a little bit of hiding it, kind of like me, I mean, I can say, I know that I probably wasn't really being truly authentic. It's not like we have to tell everybody everything, but there is something about being able to talk about ourselves, something that's really important, something that brings you happiness, right? And share that with the people that we are kind of in contact with, on a daily basis. So let's see where you will be in 3 months. You're choosing to go in a new direction. You're choosing to look at different possibilities. I feel like what you're doing is you're understanding, okay, is there a way I can combine my day persona and my night persona? Is there a way that I can, because you have the 8 of Pentacles underneath, is there a way that I can combine both of these? For some of you, it could be that, you have a friend. It could be even like a dear friend or a family member. Say you're married, okay? And the person that you're married to, it doesn't like this friend or this family member, right? So you don't talk about the fact that you're seeing them or talking to them or something like that. Like it's a big rift. But part of it is understanding. If we're going to be in a connection, I also need to share with you, okay, the other people that are a part of my life. So even if this isn't in your career sector, it's kind of like understanding that you need to be able to converse about other people in your life with the ones that are so important to you. And I feel like that's what you're looking at. You're kind of like, okay, what are some other possibilities about how we can work together? We can stay together, Yeah. How can you make changes in this? Look at this. You have the Judgment card. Going forth in a brand new way. I feel like you're announcing to the world, this is what I really love. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is what I love. This is my bliss. And I want to share it with you. Understanding. Yeah, I feel like, there's almost a sense of being concerned because this is so far removed from who you were in 2008. You're not sure how people are going to take this, But it's understanding also that until you put it out there, okay, you can't step into your true authentic self. When I started this YouTube channel, it helped me to step further into my true authentic self. It's this energy of when you embrace what you truly love, what your bliss is, then other choices in your life suddenly become more aligned to that. And it provides you, you don't have this duality. You don't have this day life and night life, right? You have a life that is complete and whole. So let's see where you are in 6 months. So this would be September at the full moon in Aries, and you have the Magician and Patience. Being able to manifest what it is that you want. In this new world, I feel like you have, I think Cancer, in 6 months, you have a completely different world than what you have right now. Yeah. And really reassessing. What is it that I want to go after? And the moon energy, just a beautiful energy with this. Knowing that, okay, I don't know exactly where this is going. I'm surrendering, but I'm also no longer allowing my fears to hold me back from taking the actions that I want to take. I'm going to go out there and spend the time and the energy on those things that really are, that bring me this bliss, that bring me this excitement about getting up and going to work or whatever it is that you do, right? I no longer want to feel deflated. I want to enjoy my life, and I want to enjoy it in a fulfilling way. Yeah, really beautiful. All right, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And Cancer, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, how does my body want to move today? When we move, we change our state and raise our vibration. This new elevated state becomes a channel for more energy. Are you moving your body daily? Are you passionate about it? Is it time to try something new? I think it is all about getting out of your comfort zone, It's about understanding, okay, I want to go after my bliss. I want to move my body in that direction, like physically moving your body in that direction. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. I do appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you on Thursday for your Pluto transit into Aquarius reading. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye for now.